everybody, I'm Chris here, and this is my March Otaku Month in Review, as I think I'm going to keep calling the series. I don't know if I'm going to keep calling it that. I might change it. I don't know. There's a lot, so I'm just going to get right into it, into the manga section. So, I'll just go with the top of my stack I have here. So, first volume I read this month was Genshiken Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, which I've just read the other day. I'm really liking this so far. I picked this up kind of hoping I would enjoy it, but not entirely sure that I would. And I gotta say, it is really, really nice. It's just a really chill read. It's like, best way I can describe it is nerds do nerd things with their friends. And it's just a nice chill read. All the characters, I really like all the characters. They all have their own sort of thing going, and it's really, really enjoyable. Their club reminds me of my one of the clubs I was in high school, which is kind of nostalgic for me. But yeah, I really like Genshiken so far. I think I'm gonna really enjoy reading the rest of the series, and if I like the rest of the series as much as I like these 3 volumes, I'll probably pick up the second part. So moving on. I also read Devil is a Part-Timer, Volume 1. Whoop, dropped it. Volume 2. And Volume 3, which is all of the series that I have at the moment. And I picked this up because, I picked this series up, I said in a previous video, because I really, really liked the anime, and I wanted to read past the anime to the rest of the series, basically. And that was before season 2 got announced a couple weeks ago. But I think I'm still gonna pick up the manga, because I still have 2 more volumes until I am caught up with all the source material that is in the first season of the show. So yeah, I still have volume 4 and 5 to get. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. They do shorten a few things. The first volume covers like 4 episodes of the show, which was a pretty quick pace. I wasn't expecting the pacing to go that quick, but it was still enjoyable. Volume 2 slowed down a little bit, and then Volume 3 has pretty much the start of the second arc of the first season. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick up 4 and 5 to have the whole first season in the manga format. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. If you haven't read or watched Devil's a Part-Timer, I highly recommend you do. It's such a funny series. It's so good. So another continuation is Spy Family Volume 4. And as I said in my my haul video, this particular volume had a little bit of a darker tone, but it wasn't to the point where it was like so like off from the rest of the series. It was actually quite a nice change of pace compared to the rest of the series. The rest of the series has been pretty lighthearted with a little bit of like I don't know how to say it, like edgier undertones. I don't really know how to say it the right way, but yeah, this particular volume was a nice little change of pace compared to the other 3. And I hope Volume 5 continues with the this kind of like refreshing bits and pieces of darker tones and stuff, because it was actually really, really good to read. If you haven't picked up Spy Family, it's currently my favorite manga to read. So if you haven't picked it up, I highly recommend it. It's so good. I also heard that it's getting an anime apparently, which is fantastic. So yeah, Spy Family, pick it up, please. It's so good. Another volume that I read this month was Golden Kamuy Volume 1. Now, I picked up Golden Kamuy because I'm a massive fan of the anime. I'll get to that in the anime portion, because yeah, but I really, really like this series. It's like, it's got good amounts of action and like character drama and comedy. It's so good. It is so good. It's a Viz signature, which I like. It's a bigger size than the regular, which is really nice. The art is really, really good, and it's like historical fiction, which is one of my favorite genres to read, historical fiction. So yeah, that's I'm probably gonna pick up at least volume 2 and 3 soon. I had my dad read this volume, and he said it was okay. He got a little confused because he's never read manga before, but he said he liked it. So hopefully I can get him to read the other 2 volumes that I'm gonna pick up. But yeah, Golden Kamuy, really liked it. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up. If you haven't watched the show, watch the show. Either one works. They're both phenomenal. Another volume I read this month, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Volume 4. Yep, I'm gonna keep chugging away at this. If you've played Twilight Princess, it follows the game's plot fairly closely with a little bit of deviating. Well, it's been a while since I played the game, so I'm not entirely sure if it's deviating. I can't quite remember. But yeah, I enjoyed this volume. It's Volume 8 just got released, I think, in like the middle of March. So yeah, I got a ways to go to catch up, but I'm really liking this so far. I'm a Zelda nerd, so I'm really enjoying reading this. It's quite nostalgic for me too, because Twilight Princess was the first Zelda game that I actually played. But yeah, pick this up, and the covers are just so cool. Like let's see. Here's Volume 3. I really like this cover, and they're black. Like the spines are just black, so they really stick out on my shelf, which I really like. And moving on to the last manga that I read this month, I read One Punch Man, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9. I'm a big fan of One Punch Man. I'm glad I continued picking up the series, because I only had volumes 1 and 2 for like the longest time, and I was like, well, I just saw One Punch Man. Do I really need to pick up the rest? I'm really glad I convinced myself to start picking up the rest, because it's so good. It's just a really good action comedy series. It's I don't have the right words. It's just so good. The new villain, everything that starts in Volume 8 is just way better than it is in the anime, because the season 2 for the anime starts at Volume 8. And I gotta say, the manga is way better. It's way better. Season 2 is alright, but this makes it so much better. Reading through this, it's so good. And moving on to the anime part of the video, my anime watching log. So the first show that I watched this month was Golden Kamuy Season 3. I started watching it last month, but it carried over to this month. And it's still running at full steam, man. It's so good. It is so good. It picks up right at the end of Season 2, after that awesome ending for Season 2, and just keeps chugging and chugging. The prison break scene is so good. The all the stuff that builds all the way up to the end, and the cliffhanger ending, it's so good. Golden Kamuy is just on another level. It is one of my favorite animes. It's so good. The 2 different like groups of characters and how they interact with similar situations. It's a really good series to watch. I feel like I'm rambling. Am I rambling? You get into depth with new characters. They introduced this new character, Sophia, and how she's related to Will, Kashira's father, and all that. And it builds and builds and builds. And then the ending, and then I'm not going to spoil it, because people would come after me if I did, because it's that good. Excuse me. But yeah, it was such a good season. I'm so glad I held out, because there was a span of a couple weeks where the dub episodes were lagging a little bit behind. It was like a 3-week gap between episode 8 and episode 9. Moving on to the second show I watched this month, I watched Space Dandy. And the best way I can describe Space Dandy to anyone who hasn't watched it is, it's like the original Star Trek series, and Flash Gordon had a baby in space. It's got the campiness of Flash Gordon and a little bit of the campiness of Star Trek, but it's also got some really cool sci-fi elements. All the episodes are fairly episodic. There's not really There's not really any long overarching arcs. It's 2 seasons, and a lot of the episodes are parodies of certain things. Like there's one where it's like a parody of zombie movies. There's like, I think it's like the 3rd episode is like a parody on like zombie movies, which was really, really cool. There's like cool sci-fi concepts like what happens if you pull on a cosmic string and the secret behind warping and all that stuff. It's, as a sci-fi nerd, it's a really, really cool watch. I highly recommend it. It's an anime original from Studio Bones, and the animation is fantastic. And there, for a comedy series, there were some genuinely heartfelt moments in the series, which was kind of refreshing. It was so good. If you haven't watched Space Dandy, highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. It's only 26 episodes, so it's not too long. It's so good. It is so good. And the final show I watched this month. Ooh boy, it's a big one. I watched Cowboy Bebop for the first time. Oh my lord. Cowboy Bebop. So good. It's so good. I finished it literally last night. So good. The ending hit me right in the feels, man. Right in the feels. If you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Watch it. Watch it immediately. It's so good. It's so good. Spike, Jet, Edward, Faye. I love all of them to bits. They're such good characters. Ein is the best corgi I've ever seen. Again, like Space Dandy, it's fairly episodic. And to be honest, I think Space Dandy is a little bit of a parody of Cowboy Bebop. That's part of the reason I watched it. Because I was like, oh, this seems, speaking on Cowboy Bebop, I was like, this seems kind of like Space Dandy was parodying it, because I was like reading through episode descriptions and stuff. Finally watched it. Oh my god, it's so good. The first episode alone, I was hooked. First 15 minutes, like that, hooked. And it's so good. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I'm a jazz nerd. The opening, I was grooving the whole time. It's so good. It is so good. So that's my 3 anime I watched this month and all the manga that I read this month. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at MangamanChris. Drop me a comment in the comment section if you have any other anime you think I should watch next month, which is April. That's right, it's April. And yeah, that's all for today, guys. See ya.